If I think I'm home. Peace, Coolio. Think fast. First off, I do not own the rights to this music that's playing in this Mathern supermarket while I'm here. This is their radio, and it's not my music. I do not own the rights to the music playing in the background. I repeat. But I want to share something right quick. Uh, Imagine if source consciousness was fearful from day one. And I drew out this diagram. If y'all familiar with, look up the flower of life, the fruit of life. You know the path. Matter of fact, you got the big flower, but it starts with one circle. You can kind of see that circle in the middle, right there. It's kind of hard to view, but it starts off with consciousness expanding. But think about it. The consciousness that quote unquote first, or just that consciousness by itself right here. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I don't like to try to stay away from the 3D words of beginning and end and stuff like that. But sometimes you gotta use it for lack of a better expression. But this little conscious sitting right here, and as that consciousness occupies this area, the awareness expands outward. But if source was fearful, that means we would never get to this stage, you know what I'm saying? Because source would be like, all right, I'm only going in the area I'm familiar with, so I'm not about to go to the farthest extents of my consciousness. I want to stay right here in this area and not move. So we wouldn't have, we wouldn't be existing in essence, you know what I'm saying, for the context of what I'm speaking on. If source was fearful from that point, then you wouldn't get the flower of life, because also the flower of life plays into the way the torus feel. Like I done spoke on how like our toroidal feel around our body, how it implodes. But basically, when we having bliss, or we positive, or we in alignment with higher self, the magnetic lines, within our torus field are constructively interfering with each other. Meaning, as they're interfering with each other, they're actually like amplifying each other, or basically not, harming each other, and not destructing each other and causing it to flatline. That's why, the analogy of like when you go to the which we don't want to go to the hospital, none of this, but but please, flatline. I mean, no more waves. You've been in a mind frame of that's been causing destructive wave interference. Meaning you've been negative and in a lower vibration, so it's causing you to do more and more things that's harmful to your body. And then you're just gonna end up, like people who end up transition from just eating unhealthy, or being so negative that they putting themselves in dangerous situations, whatever the case may be. But again, if source was, again, source for lack of a better word, that all that is, if that consciousness would have been like, oh no, I'm not even going right here, you know what I'm saying? Then you wouldn't even have, it wouldn't go to this aspect, and then it also, it continues to grow out. And the only reason why I'm trying to stay away from drawing it all out, because I don't want to make this too ugly. Yeah, I want the concept to really, but then it moves to a third spot, you know what I'm saying, and then it moves from there to another point, but you get the picture, expanding from that middle. But if it was fearful, you wouldn't have no expansion. That's the same thing with us. If we being fearful, we're not going to expand, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, because also I think about like, I was about to say, the seed of life, it's like the seven, like, so it's basically like 7 of these circles. The seed that's kind of representing the 7 days of Genesis, in essence of creation. So, but think about it again, you wouldn't have creation if source was like, oh no, like I ain't even expanding to the unknown, like like source, like with the bird box blindfold, like, oh no, I'm just gonna stay in this fear, I'm not going into the Instead of those sources like, oh yeah, even though I can't, I don't know what's out there, I'm gonna step into it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be fearful. And that's how you got life, basically. And another thing I just want to add to this video before I go is if our now is constantly lit, like new term, everything this lit. But if your now is constantly, great, you know what I'm saying, then you don't have to focus on, oh yeah, next year gonna be my year, or next month gonna be my month, or tomorrow gonna. That's causing your now not to be, you know, you're causing your now not to be great by focusing on, oh yeah, it's gonna get greater later. You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna get greater later if you keep that mind frame, because it's always gonna be next year and tomorrow and in the next hour, in the next minute, or when I come across my twin flame, or when I come across my soulmate, or when I meet the right person, then I'm a, it's about now. Make your now great from this now and the nows to come, you know what I'm saying? So if you just make your now great and focus on making the moment, the now great, then you don't have to, constantly be like, oh yeah, it's going next year and this and that. Like, just constantly focus, make a last resolution that I'm gonna just constantly from this now on to the next nows to come, I'm gonna just make my now great. Every moment, every now is just gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. Of course, it got the ebb and flow and the tide, that's a part of our experience. But again, the now, you focus on making that great. You can wash away all that, again, the road to hell could be paved with good intentions. I know the intention is good, of like, oh yeah, resolution, I'm gonna be better, I'm gonna do better. But but what people not knowing is it ain't about tomorrow again, or it's about now. But and again, before I go, I do not own the rights to this music playing in the background in this supermarket. I repeat. So just want to get that out there. Matter of fact, making my now, taking care of business now. Like, let me say what I got, so I don't get these copyright charges or whatever. But that's basically it, y'all. Again, stepping those places where we fearful, that's kind of where we want to go. Like, oh, I fear that. Well, shit, let me go do it. And that doesn't mean like anything, because again, with that being said, that doesn't mean, or if I fear that and it's something harmful, of course we're not putting ourselves in harm way. But I mean, those things those actions we're fearful of taking, or those things we're fearful of doing, but it really would be beneficial for us, for our mind, body, and soul. That's where it's like those fears is like, oh yeah, I'm coming at that. Oh, I'm scared to walk up and ask people to purchase my jewelry, or to do this, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Not to be, overly capitalistic, but it is about sustaining ourselves, and sometimes we got action. So, but again, don't be fearful, or you just gonna be sitting right here the whole time instead of constantly expanding. Peace, happy now. Now is a vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Oh, not too far in the past. Right now. Don't own the rights to this music again. But I can dance to it. That ain't against the law. No, that ain't against the rules. Go. Speaking of law, the only laws that exist are the 7 Hermetic principles. Reason why governments try to call their situations laws is to mimic light being the universe, but really there's just some fucking rules that a man made in order to incarcerate people and make revenue and all kind of other bullshit, make people feel negative about themselves and all this other stuff. But anyway, the only laws are the 7 Hermetic principles, are the 7 laws of Jehudi, Thoth, the Hermetic text again, but peace, y'all.